Tell me what's going on, my friend. Let me start by getting the engine size, please.
It's a diesel?
6.5 diesel?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Tell me what's going on.
I don't have any dash lights. It used to work, it would work once in a while when I would try to get them to come on, but now it's not working at all.
Is it just the dash lights, or is all the illumination in the vehicle not working?
Well, just all the dash lights, the oil and the gasoline, all the dash lights.
Do the gauges on the instrument cluster work?
Well, the gauges work, but you can't read anything because there's no lights.
So we could go two different ways with this conversation. So let me give you both scenarios. You have a dimmer switch that controls the brightness of the instrument cluster and
Right.
some of the other lights
Right.
on the vehicle, or inside the vehicle, I should say. The
Right.
instrument cluster, you got your ashtray lamp, you got your radio, your heater, AC control lamps, all that stuff. And all of that is basically controlled by your dimmer switch.
Right.
Or if that stuff is working, but the problem is specifically just related to the instrument cluster, well, then at that point, the fuses are good. We'll have to pull the instrument cluster and check the powers and the grounds going to the instrument cluster. Maybe the cluster itself is bad, or maybe the illumination circuit just to that instrument cluster could be the problem.
Well, I don't know about it working on the radio or not. I haven't checked that. I just know that when I'm driving the truck at night, I got no lights on my instruments.
Problem. And that's exactly why I'm giving you both scenarios. I'm giving you both options. So I'm telling you, if the problem is just specifically the instrument cluster, well, then we got to pull the cluster and check the powers and the grounds going into the instrument cluster. Maybe the illumination circuit just going to the instrument cluster is an issue, or the instrument cluster itself. But if the rest of the stuff isn't working, so for example, the ashtray lamp, the radio, that if that's not working, you got your heater and AC control lamps, and then you got your four-wheel drive lamp, illumination lamp. You got
the four-wheel drive lamp is working.
So that's bright as just like it should be. Is that correct?
Right.
So the problem is probably related to the instrument cluster or the instrument cluster circuit. That's power. Let me go take a look here. I think that was a brown wire I think I saw here.
That I know is working because I've seen that on all the time.
Okay. Let me just pull it up here.
I was thinking maybe it's a fuse. Do you think it might be a fuse?
Well, that's what we're going to check here. But P&L lamps fuse, you could check that fuse to make sure it's in the fuse box. It's a 5-amp fuse. And that powers up the illumination circuit to your bulbs in the instrument cluster. Now, but if that fuse was popped...
What will that fuse say? PML?
P&L.
NL? PNL?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But the reason I bring this up is because if that fuse is popped, none of the other stuff will work, including your four-wheel drive light.
Oh.
So based on what you're telling me, no, I don't think the problem is a fuse.
You
might want to double check that four-wheel drive light, my friend.
Well, that's working. The four-wheel drive light is working.
So if you're sure about that, then I'm sure the problem's not a blown fuse.
Oh, it's probably the switch itself then, you think?
No, because the four-wheel drive light's working. The switch powers up the P&L fuse, which in turn powers up the four-wheel drive lamp, the illumination in the lamp, and it powers up your instrument cluster, your illumination in your instrument cluster. So the switch is working, your dimmer switch is working, your P&L lamps fuse is good, and then that leaves only the specific wire. It's a gray wire that runs from the P&L lamps fuse over to your instrument cluster, or the bulbs in your instrument cluster are bad, or I suppose the cluster itself could be bad, but the gauges are working.
So just my bulbs are all bad.
That's possible.
Well, thank you very much. I'll have to take that off and check all my bulbs in.
You got it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, my friend. Good luck, and let us know if anything comes up.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye. That'd be all.